Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm here in the little square up here in the corner with Russell Furr with Culpeper Home Services. Now, a lot of you guys might not know who he is yet, but you will. I just wanted to get Russell on because he's had an awesome ride over the past 13 months at this point, and so I just wanted to talk to you about your journey, what it's been like for you. I just want to. You have a unique experience and unique training and unique insight that I think a lot of guys would want to hear and learn from. So first off, thank you for taking the time.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah, man.
So you say it's interesting. It's funny because since it's all personal stuff, I don't find it all that interesting. You know what I mean? It's like you probably have an interesting story if you were to actually sit down and tell it, but because it's your story, you probably feel like nobody cares about it.
Sure,
you know
sure.
What I mean? That's kind of how I feel. So it's kind of, it takes me a little bit to get rolling, or whatever. So
fair enough.
But
So okay, true story, unrelated. I didn't tell you this. I got contacted today by a guy who found us through you, who's in Boston.
Whoa!
And he said that he saw you on Grant Cardone's Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, Russell Furr has been with Grant Cardone, and now he's on here. Like, what?
That's wild, dude. That's crazy. So So he's a contractor, I guess.
Yeah, he's a plumber.
No kidding.
And he was like, he scooped you out to go, I got to figure out what this guy's doing because whatever he's doing is working.
That's awesome, dude.
And so
That's
I said,
awesome.
yeah, you should call him.
Yeah, I've got so many connections on Facebook. It's like that's the one thing that's so important is networking, man. Just having connections. Especially getting involved in the community with the business community. And the Chamber of Commerce and everything is just so valuable.
So tell us, okay, so a lot of guys obviously don't know who you are. You started your shop at this point 13 months ago.
Correct.
One man shop. Tell us about kind of the past year because it's been a whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So, I went out on my own just because I thought that I had reached my potential working for someone else. My wages were basically stagnant for about 10 years, and I was looking for more money, dude. And things didn't work out with my former employer, so I was like, all right, I got to go out on my own and make it happen. So that's when I incorporated on January 30th. About I don't know, maybe a week later is when I actually quit my job and then kind of went in full bore on the business. So and then from that point, basically I went out and I bought a van. I had no customers.
Wait, so let's back up a bit because one of the things when we first talked the very first time I remember was you're not in like a super crazy big massive market.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you're in this like suburb that's got tons of cash and like you're.
Yeah, the average median income's like $46,000. So, but I'm between two. I'm between two metropolitan areas. I'm just south of Northern Virginia, and I'm just south enough to where there's like a cutoff line to where like the next county up, you're more into Northern Virginia, but then from there on, it's like you're in the Metro DC area. So I'm like an hour and a half south of DC. So I'm not in that Northern Virginia market, but a lot of people still commute up in Northern Virginia from down here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But down here, it's like, and then to the south of me, an hour south of me, I've got Charlottesville. So I'm right in the middle. All right. And then in between Charlottesville and Northern Virginia, you've got all these like country towns, all these like, small towns where all the contractors have been around forever, since like the 70s and 80s. And you look them up online, they got, 1.5 star, out of 7 reviews or they just got like a handful of like 5 reviews, so I was doing my market research when I was, kicking this idea around. And it's like, man, there's nobody here. Like no one has capitalized on this market at all, And I've worked in Northern Virginia for 20 years. So, my former company was a Nexstar company. So I've had all the Nexstar training. I've been, I've just had all the Nexstar training. I'm familiar with all that. And, all that really changed my life and showed me a side of plumbing that I didn't even know existed. So I definitely would not be here today without Nexstar.
So yeah, that's a great organization.
Yeah, I love it, dude. It's the best. And one of my goals is 2020 be a Nexstar company, because you have to have a certain revenue number before they'll consider you or whatever. And you have to be out of the truck. You can't be working in the truck. You got to be working out on the business, not in the business per se.
Right.
So that's what I'm working towards right now. And so it's like this is like a real soft market, man. It's like no one's here. Nobody's here. No one has come in and just tried to get this market, basically. All these old school guys were sitting around here, with like, just doing business like it's the 80s.
Right.
And that's how the people are around here. They do business like it's the 80s. And it's like, newsflash, this is 2019. It's not the 80s anymore, So I came in and brought everything that I've learned and just basically just busted on the scene, and I mean, I had people talking about me. It seemed like the whole town knew who I was within like a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, because what I started doing is I went and just started hammering Facebook, with marketing. I built a Google page. I built a real crappy website that actually I had it ranked pretty decently, dude. I mean, against the guys down here with Squarespace websites, and 1.5, star reviews. It was pretty easy. Actually, I was ranked pretty decently, dude. You'd be surprised, and I knew the importance of reviews. So I had former customers. I had, friends, people who knew me, just, hey man, I went in business for myself. I need a review. I've done work for you, just give me a review or whatever. So within like 2 weeks, I had more reviews than anyone else in town. And then and I'm like pretty much at the top of Google, I'm hammering Facebook. So everyone knows who I am, and it just took off right from the beginning. So it was pretty incredible. And my website was just temporary. I knew it wasn't anything special and it wasn't anything permanent or anything. So I started looking around for marketing, marketing guys to like build a website. I didn't really know a whole lot about SEO and all that other stuff. So I actually emailed 2 companies, and you're the only one that called me back. So, so how about that?
It's like, yay, we didn't suck.
Yeah, I know. You did your job. Me and the wife were just talking tonight. We're thinking about getting a garage built, and it's like I sent and we both sent emails to this local company, and it's like we can't even get them to call us, and it's like we're, you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make any sense, dude. But that's the way things are down here. It's like, it's like you gotta jump through hoops to get your quote, or even to get them to show up.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
So, okay, so you've mentioned reviews a lot. So you started off with, obviously, new company, no customers, 0. Reached out to, like, previous customers that you had.
Yeah. And I've only been in this town for 5 years, so it's not like not even 5 years. At that point, it was like 4, I guess. It's not like I knew a lot of people either.
Where are you sitting with your Google reviews right now?
Oh, 114.
114.
Yeah. So.
And through the end of last year, I know now you've got a couple guys in trucks doing some work for you. You got a lady in the office, but how many vans did you have doing that work and getting those reviews last year?
Just one.
Just you.
Just myself. Mm-hmm. Just me, and I just hired someone. Like my employees are brand new. Like I did it all by myself until February.
Yeah, that's
for an
crazy.
entire year, complete entire 12 months. I did it 100% by myself.
And February also marked, besides 1 year, it also marked another cool milestone for you. What happened in February?
I got my office. So one thing about marketing and branding is you got to get attention. You have to get attention. Like don't have your office tucked away in the back of some industrial park somewhere where no one knows that you're there. I got my offices right on Main Street in town. There was a great building there, and I pursued it, and I got it. And it's a great marketing tool. It's just another way for everyone to know who I am.
Yeah.
You got to get attention. You got to make sure people who know who you are.
What has been like one of maybe the biggest challenges that you've had over the past year? Like, because I said to go, starting any business is hard, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of risk. There's a fear of failure. You have to carry a lot and juggle a lot of hats. Like, what's been one of the biggest headaches over the past year that you've had to deal with?
Honestly, it's probably going to sound pretty crazy, but I don't really have any headaches. I mean, the business started making money from the very beginning, pretty much. And I don't know, things have just been rolling. I feel like I haven't forced anything. I've allowed everything to just fall into place. Like, especially when I started kicking around the idea of hiring people, it's like I didn't force anything. You know, as time went on, the pieces just fell right into place, if that makes any sense. But that's how I feel like my business has been built from the beginning. It's like everything just falls right into place right when it's supposed to. And it's like as much as I keep feeding it, it just keeps eating and growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
So when we find guys that are like you, that are either just wanting to start up or like early on in that phase, they get and I get it, they almost get like paralyzed by fear or by making a wrong decision. You know, so you said one of the first things you did is go out and buy a van.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is not a small investment.
No, but it's the smartest way to go, because I'd rather have a $423 a month payment than go out and spend $8,000 on some piece of crap that's gonna be breaking down constantly.
Right.
Like, that's another mistake people make. Go out and buy a nice truck. You know, like, I screwed up and bought the van. You know, and I'm used to working out of a box truck. You know, so I got the room for everything. So I knew pretty quickly that was a bad move. But I wanted the safety of not having a $50,000 truck. You know, the thing was cheap. That's why I got it. Had zero customers. I just took a huge leap of faith and had nothing to fall back on. So, I mean, that's why I went that route.
What's been the importance of nailing your price points? So, and I said to go, a lot of guys who work for someone else, without the Nexstar training, they'll think, well, so-and-so employer, they charge too much. I could do it for half the price or 60% of the price. And still, you know, they think it's parts, time and materials. So they don't think about the cost of the business. But you came in, you were flat rate from the get-go.
Yep. Knew about margins right off the bat, you know.
What has that sort of knowledge helped? Like, what's that been like?
Oh, it's what's made it profitable. It's what's made it grow. I mean, because without profit, you don't go anywhere.
Right.
So, you know, knowing how to price work, I still had a lot to learn as far as how to price work and as far as about business, but I had a pretty good grasp on it, you know, just from being involved, you know, at the other employer. But it's huge, man. You know, it's huge. You got to price your work correctly, you know, and don't be the cheap guy. Don't devalue yourself. Don't devalue your services, and provide a high level of service to your customers. You know, that's the thing. It's like, do business like it's 2019.
Right.
You know, customers want to be engaged. Customers want to be engaged with. Get in there, engage with the customer, show them why you're doing something, show them why you have made this diagnosis to whatever part has failed, and show them why, you know, and offer solutions. Give them different options, because people love options, you know, and there's always more than one way you can do something, you know, and, you know, customers want good service. They don't want the guy that just comes in here with blinders on and within 3 minutes he's given a price. You know, you shouldn't even be talking numbers for like 30 minutes. Like, go in there and talk about anything other than plumbing. You know, don't talk about plumbing for the first 10 or 15 minutes. You know, I mean, that's the worst thing you do. Get in there and just chit chat and get to know the customer, but you got to be genuine though. You know, you got to be genuine. If you're not genuine, they see right through it.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, I'm genuinely interested in people. I think people are interesting, and I like hearing about their hobbies, and I love dogs. So I love everyone has a dog. So it's like instant connection there, you know. I tell people that's what I like about my job so much, is all the cool dogs I get to meet. You know, but you know, that's the thing, man. Just engage with the customer and just take care of their issues and listen. That's the main thing, is listen.
One of the things that you said, and I've seen you on Facebook, because you do a killer job on Facebook. So a lot of people, like, they think that plumbing, it costs too much to have a plumber come in and do a water heater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll go to Craigslist, they'll go to Facebook, they'll try to find whatever cheapest route possible to do that.
Yep.
You took an interesting approach to, like, combat that way early on. Like, going in, you would take pictures of like the install, of the venting, of like, say, you would just like throw these guys almost under the bus to show the value in what you brought.
Yeah, and you got to be real careful, because you don't want to badmouth any other company. Basically, basically what I do is I just show, like, this is not the way that it's supposed to be done, you know, and you know, here's my install. This is the way it's supposed to be done. Look at the differences. And the main thing is, customers don't know what good plumbing work looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
why there's so much crappy plumbing out there.
Right.
Because your average customer has no clue. They could have I've seen it. You can have a 50-gallon gas atmospherically vented water heater, with PVC because whatever plumber they called in when their power vent leaked. Well, now the dude's, I can replace that for $600, and goes out and gets a regular 50 gas and slaps it in, and now the whole house is filled with carbon monoxide, and they don't even know it, So that's the thing, is customers don't know the difference.
Right. And
It,
you do a great job on Facebook even explaining that. I remember one time, I think you posted that particular story on Facebook, and some lady commented like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And I showed my wife too. My wife's like, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, exactly. Like, customers don't know what good plumbing is.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can do the work. Pretty much, in a sense, pretty much almost anyone can do the work as long as you're knowledgeable. But really, where the difference is made is in the customer experience. That's where the difference is made. You can call any plumber out there, and any plumber can come do the work to the customer satisfaction, because they don't really know what they're looking at.
That's not the standard.
They don't really know what a good work looks like. All they know is the interaction they've had with your company. That's all they know.
Have you had any challenges finding, because you just made a couple hires, of finding people who have your level of customer service? Like, what's that been like?
No, it's been great, dude, because the girl that I hired has been doing this for like 15 years. And I had met her through my former employer. So she's Nexstar trained. And I'm telling you, she's the best. Christy Jenkins is the best at customer service, running the office, the phones, everything on that end, with the customer. Because the customer only knows how their interactions with your company. That's all they know.
Right.
So it's got to be the front lines, got to be on point. Every level's got to be on point. And she certainly delivers. And then my plumber that I got, he actually hired me at our former company.
Really?
So he was my manager. He was the service manager. So he's been through the Nexstar training. He's a Nexstar guy. He's on board, and he just fits like a glove too. So it's really an incredible little team I've got, and I've got a little apprentice. He's 19 years old. His name is Chase, and he just had his 90-day
I saw that
anniversary. So he had his 90-day review today. He's earned himself a raise, and I gave him a nice bag full of tools for him to start, using. So everyone's really excited.
If you had like three things, so if guys are like you maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you go, hey, these are the three big things you have to get right if you want to actually grow your business and not be stuck, like being busy but not profitable, to make the most of every call. What are like the three things maybe that you would say, guys, you have to do these three things?
Yeah. So you've got to know your numbers. You've got to make sure your work is priced correctly. That's key. Don't be giving things away because you think you need to. Price your work right. You've got to just get attention. You got to have a great marketing guy, which is a guy like you that can handle all the Google, the SEO, all the back end stuff. Basically everything you do is when people go looking for a guy like me.
Right.
So you've got that level, and then you also have to have a level where you're just punching them in the face every single day.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what the Facebook does. I can hit my audience right now, with whatever message I want, and that's the power of Facebook marketing. And I mean, seriously, I joined the Chamber of Commerce about 3 weeks after going into business. So when I walked in, they were like, "Oh man, we've been wanting to come find you because you're making everyone crazy. We can't believe what all the buzz and this and that and all this other stuff." And it just goes to show, man. Like right off the bat, man, people knew who I was, and you got to get attention. It's number one, the key. You got to get attention. You got to make sure your numbers are good. You got to know how to price work, and you got to have a guy that can do the Google stuff like yourself.
Speaking of Chamber, though, you actually won an award with the Chamber last year. What was that award?
Entrepreneur of the Year. So that was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So basically my success can be attributed to, I like to say, a three-pronged attack. I've got the Chamber of Commerce, I've got you, and I've got the Facebook. That's why I am where I am today. Joining the Chamber of Commerce, being involved, sponsoring the events, and even just stop by and hang out with them. Just stop by the chamber office and hang out with them, and and just be involved, man, because it makes such a huge difference. You meet so many, basically all the power players in your town are hanging out at the Chamber of Commerce. So keep that in mind and make sure you are there so you can be one of those power players.
Yeah. Yeah, and so what's interesting is you also you give back in more ways than just like the chamber. Like you've done a good job connecting with them, but even yesterday you gave back to like a veteran.
Yeah.
Right, who just needed.
I do that sometimes. Like not too long ago, I had a veteran call me, had a clogged kitchen sink. It been clogged for a little while, and he's telling me on the phone he don't have a lot of money, this and that. I'm like, all right, whatever, And so I go out there and I clear his kitchen sink, and I didn't charge him. No big deal. It didn't take me that long. I'd rather help the guy. He tried to give me like a little bit of money. It's like, dude, I don't even want it.
Yeah.
Just thanks for your service, and I just wanted to help. So, but yeah, things like that from time to time come up, and we were contacted over the weekend by an organization called Heroes Bridge, seeing if we could help get a veteran's water back on. So I went out there yesterday, and you get this old trailer. The place is like Swiss cheese, and it got cold. The pipes busted, and his water's been off like weeks. He's had no water.
Holy cow.
Yeah, dude. So I crawled up under his trailer, found the leak, fixed it, and then it didn't charge him much, dude. I didn't charge him at all. It didn't cost me hardly anything. It didn't really keep me from doing anything else. So if I can help, then that's what I want to do. So I told the Heroes Bridge people that I was on the phone with, your resources are probably pretty tight, so I'm not even going to charge you. It didn't take me that long, no big deal. So we'll see what happens in the future going forward with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good. Yeah. I mean, you got good like social coverage. You're able to say, "Hey, you did this." People love to support businesses who give them warm fuzzies.
They do, yeah. People love to support local businesses too, especially especially the small guy just starting out. People love that stuff.
Yeah. So I don't want to turn this into a plug for us because I really think the story is you, but a lot of guys we talk to have had really crappy experiences with like marketing. They pick this company or that company, and they can write them checks anywhere from $100,000 to $5,000 a month. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What could you say about guys who are like, if they're looking at us or skeptical about us or whatever? Like, is there anything? If I need to close my ears so you can be honest, like what would you say about working with us as a part of your story, where you're going?
Well, what was really cool, man, is when I first started out, man, I'd been in business for like a month, and I'm on the phone with you, and you're helping me scale. You're like putting together a plan where you can scale your marketing as I scale my business, because I didn't have a lot of money starting out, for marketing. I was putting all my money into Facebook marketing and some AdWords, and I didn't have a lot starting out. So you helped me, kind of grow, and we kind of grew together. And then within like 6 months, actually not even, it was like within like 4 or 5 months, I was like, dude, let's go full bore. Yeah. I need the website. I need the SEO. I need everything. Let's do it. So that was really awesome. I forgot the question.
Well, it's good.
So I remember now. So guys that maybe not have the best experience with marketing companies or whatever, even a guy like you, you got to do your part. You got to do your job of getting the attention, getting the reviews, delivering the 5-star service, getting out in the community. Just get attention, because what you do is really about half the battle. And it's an important half. Like it's imperative, and to have a guy that's as good as you are, you got to be killer on every single level.
Right.
And that's it. That's exactly it. I could pay you 4 times as much as I'm paying you right now, and if I quit doing everything I'm doing, things are going to stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's truly a partnership. It really is, and that's what business is all about, is partnerships.
I absolutely agree.
on every level. On every level.
Yeah.
Between with my graphics guy in town, everyone I do business with, I want to have a friendship with.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. I'm going to do my part so your efforts, aren't lost.
Yeah, and I love that you have that mindset, because we've got guys who, I'm not saying any names, but we've got guys who have 10 times the vans you have deployed and struggle to get 1/10 of the reviews that you get, right? And so there's a saying in marketing that, and I kind of learned it in college, is that great marketing makes a bad product fail faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so we need guys like you who care about customers, who understand the value of being in the community. We can never, ever do Facebook like you can. We're just not there. We're not on the asphalt. We're not in the town. We're not in the restaurant that you go to like 5 times a week.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We can't do it, but we can augment what you do. We can enhance what you can do. We can maximize that exposure. So yeah, we love working with guys like you who have this partnership mentality, because then we both win.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes us both stronger.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been great, dude. It's been a great year. I was really focused on 100 reviews, and I think I hit 100 reviews right before my 1-year anniversary. I think it was right after Christmas. Was it January or was it February?
It was. I was trying to remember that too. It was either late December or January.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, hit that, and the reviews come by delivering 5-star service. And if you're not delivering 5-star service, that's why you're not getting reviews.
Right.
You got to deliver 5-star service. You got to step up your game. Step up your game. Well, I like to call it the Chick-fil-A business model. You know? I mean, you go there and they're so friendly. They're so friendly.
We were there today for lunch, and so I was with my wife and my kids, right? And it was lunchtime, massive line going around the building.
I know.
And there was 15 people, from the first touch, all the way around. We were in and out in 3 minutes.
No kidding.
And it was
wow.
These guys are killing it. Meanwhile, it's the Arby's, the McDonald's, everything next door is like crickets. It's everyone was going to Chick-fil-A and they were turning them faster.
Yep. Seriously. So, and a lot of it is old school guys with old school ways, and the old school mindset. It's just, you got to do things differently. You got to change. You got to be willing to change. You got to be able to look at what you're doing. You got to be able to, evaluate and see where you need to improve. People's egos get in their way a lot of times, and they can't take criticism. Right. They get all bent out of shape with, so don't be one of those people. If you're one of those people, you're your biggest problem. Got it? Don't be one of those people. Let things roll off your back and take it for what it is. So. Yeah,
there's a guy who speaks a lot at big conferences, and he says, look, your customers are already talking about you. They already are. You should at least be brave enough to join the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
You're okay, I can get that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Man.
And the other thing is the importance of every single call. You know? Because your number one goal is to expand the brand, is what I say. You got to expand the brand. Make sure everyone knows who you are. That's what makes every single call so important. Even if it's a $0 ticket, you should have left an impression on that customer where even if they didn't buy from you right now, they will next time they need something.
Yeah. Everything else was like a second choice.
Exactly. Everything else is a second choice. You should go in there and completely wow that customer. Even get a 5-star review. I get 5-star reviews off $0 tickets all the time. I mean, that's what you need to do. Get that review. That lights a fire. Every customer lights a fire, and make sure that fire is a good fire. Don't make sure that fire is not a bad fire. Make sure it's a good fire.
What can you say about what those reviews have meant? So you're over 100. I think your closest competition in your town is 15.
Yeah, they haven't had a review in 8 months.
What? So a lot of guys we talk to don't understand how big those reviews are.
They're huge. It's huge.
How? Say about that. What's it like for you?
It's reputation. It's instant credibility. It's the ability to go into a job and give them options, and they trust you. They trust what you say. They trust your judgment. They trust your options. They trust your company. It's just on every level you have to deliver. And the reviews are so important. So it's imperative. The reviews are imperative.
Yeah, they are huge.
Yes, definitely.
And that's something where, for us, we can coach and we can train and we can go, guys, you haven't got any reviews this week. What's going on? But
yeah. And what I found is is people want to help you. People want to help you. So what helped me get over the hump of 100 is I started saying to people, hey, can you help me reach my goal of 3 reviews this week, because I'm on track, to get 100 or whatever, whatever the spiel is, help me reach my goal of 3 reviews this week,
The ask is everything.
Yeah, the ask is everything. And also, they want to help you reach your goal. Every customer wants, and 3, anyone can get 3, so the customer's like, oh man, it's easy, no problem. Hook you right up, dude, and it's got to be genuine. You got to make sure the customer knows how much it means to you to provide 5-star service to every single customer. And it's got to be from the heart. And if you've done your job and delivered that 5-star service, then they're going to have the warm and fuzzies. And when you walk out the door, they're going to, go on their email with the Nearby Now little thing that you set me up with, and they're going to leave that 5-star review.
Yeah. Nearby Now has its faults, but for stuff like that, it's hard to beat,
No, it's awesome. It funnels them right into a review. It's simple.
Yep. Man, for like half an hour, you've just dumped all sorts of good insight. Is there anything you want to leave anyone watching this with?
Be willing to do things differently. Look at your numbers. Make sure your people know what it means to be profitable. That's the other thing. Is make sure your people know what it means to be profitable. I mean, a lot of companies out there will have meetings with their people and show them their P&L so they can see. This is why we need to charge what we're charging. It just reinforces it. Make sure your numbers are right. Make sure your installs are priced correctly. Your service work is going to have killer margins, because $20 worth of parts on a toilet rebuild, that's $200. I mean, you don't have to worry too much about margins there. Where you have to watch your margins is on your installs, your water heaters, your big ticket items where you got lots of material, or you're hiring subcontractors or whatever. So know your numbers, watch your margins, make sure you're profitable.
So first Grant Cardone, now this little video. What's next for Culpeper Home Services?
I don't know, man. The sky's the limit, so everything just falls into place when it's supposed to.
Dude, that's awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And guys, if you're watching this, feel free to reach out to Russell. I volunteered you.
That's all good.
Because seriously, he's got lots of great insight, real world experience, and you're doing it in a market where, and even me, I was critical of your market at first. It's like, I don't know if you got the numbers. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I was like, I don't know. And you're doing it.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, so it's awesome. So thanks for taking the time, man. I'm gonna hit stop on this recording, but yeah, guys, check out what he's doing. Keep an eye on Culpeper Home Services, because they are not staying in Culpeper for long.
Yep, and follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, they have an awesome Facebook, and it's at Culpeper Home Serve, or is that your Twitter? What's your Facebook?
Culpeper Home Services.
Okay, got it. So follow them there. All right, guys.